Okay, guys. I'm Vince with Listings to Leads, and this is our first rollout call for your office, Engels and Volkers in Boston. So we're excited to have you on board. Hopefully, you've heard something about us, but if not, we're going to cover a lot of that right now. We basically have been around for 9 years. We have a lot of tools available for you to market listings and a lot of tools for you to get more listings. So if you go to our front website, you'll see that there's a button you can click here to see all tools. And this is just a real quick, gives you a kind of a concept of what we're doing. We create virtual tours automatically, single property websites. We auto upload to YouTube for you. We auto post to WordPress for you. We give you an email campaign. We give you a Facebook campaign. And we give you a way to put your listings on blogs if you're a blogger yourself. We also give you a way to post to Craigslist, and everything that I just described has multiple hooks in it to get you more buyers, more referrals, and more listing leads. So to give you an example of what I'm talking about, I'm going to open up this is a just sold single property website. So your listings hit our platform automatically. And at that point, they're not just sold. Hopefully, they're not sold before they even hit the MLS. But they come as just listed. And so the banner up here is going to say just listed. You're going to notice that this sort of page pops up in the middle. And that really gets to what I was saying earlier, is that our tools are designed to capture leads. There are a lot of great companies out there in real estate advertising. I'm sure you've used a few. And they basically have, they look like this. They've got your logo, they've got information on the home, they've got your contact information below, but people have to call you. And that's really what most advertising is about. And we know, and you probably know, that people really don't want to talk to you, but they have a lot of interest in real estate. So our tool sort of answers what's going on. At this point, there's something just sold. Many people who look at a just sold ad or click on a just sold email own a home and they're thinking about selling. So the auto lead capture that pops up in 5 to 10 seconds is this page saying, hey, that home's sold. You can get the closing price. You can also get your own home value right here by putting in your address. So there are a couple of things to know about our tools right off the bat. One, the lead capture message is different from just listed to open house to coming soon, under contract, and just sold. So every time you have a different status, we're really rewriting the call to action to get you the lead at that point. Two, there are a couple, you start to see these things that look like Facebook here, right? Continue with Facebook. What that means is when the consumer clicks that button, Listings to Leads, reaches into Facebook and gets their name and email and deliver it to you via email. Okay? And and you'd be surprised, and I can tell you we are surprised. We implemented that change about 4 months ago, and our lead generation has been going through the roof. Our clients, and the reason we've been successful for 9 years is because our clients get a lot of leads. But before, 4 months ago, it looked like this. I don't know if you can see. You had to type in your name and email and send the information to me. And we were doing great, right? But that's not what's happening now. Now that we give them something like this where it's under contract, it's, again, if it's under contract or if it's just sold, it's probably going to be something where people are interested in their own home value. So we're just getting a lot of leads from that. When we go back to, let's go back to that front page. There are things like open house. If we go to open house, there's kind of a different message. Let's see if I can show it to you here. This is a different kind of tool, automatically created. And I think this open house is kind of out of date. Let's go back into my account. I'll show you a better version of this. No, this has it. For open house, it's a time-sensitive situation, right? And we're letting the consumer know right now, hey, this thing, if you want details, continue with Facebook. What happens when and let's just click continue with Facebook to show you. It opens up a little app. I don't know if you saw that for just a second. And so here he's got phone number required. So I have to, and that's an option. I don't recommend you make a phone number required in any online advertising. But when you do that and you type it in, you say get the information, it'll sort of go say thank you. And that's thank you for sort of giving us the information. And then it drops you on the single property website. Okay. So you've already got the lead capture, but there are multiple ways to capture leads here too. Notice this home is for sale in Granite Bay. So we have Granite Bay homes for sale, search all homes, which could be driving directly to your website. You might have unique links, landing pages that you want to create in our system. Down payment assistance available, right? These are custom pages you can create. This is created inside the Listings to Leads platform. We call it a landing page, and these are very powerful in capturing leads. So when we go back here, you notice that we're creating all these tools. We change the status, and they're meant to capture leads throughout the cycle of the listing. There's a section down here, and you'll notice that there's probably around 10 different tools you can use if you're a new agent, or if you're an agent with just 1 or 2 listings and you want to get that listing count up. And then down here is a section that's about landing pages and Facebook advertising and seller lead capture. And the number one tool I think most people are interested in is called the property valuation landing page. And I'm going to show you where all this is, but this is just a high level to show you these are some of the tools that you have available to you now. So with that, let's kind of get in. And this is a training call, right? So I got to, one thing I like to do is make sure you know where to go as soon as we get off this call, right? So I'm going to go to my front page of Listings to Leads. And I want to point out something that you log in at the top right. I don't know if Nicole is giving you your login codes, but don't log in here and create a trial because you'll just sort of break your account. Up here is a login button. Type in your ID and password there and go in there. But before you log in, know that you can scroll down and you're going to see some blog posts that we write. And they're about seller lead capture. And the point of all this is I'm going to show you where the tools are. And I'm going to show you what's automatically created and what's not automatically created. I'm going to show you how to create right now on this call. But the trick of having a tool sit in this platform and getting on the internet is not that difficult. And I'm actually going to show you a little bit of that too. But there is, I would say, something like an art to getting a lot of business out of it. And there's a button down here that says View All Blog Posts. And I'm going to take you to a really simple blog post that I recommend that you kind of remember. And it's got a title that says 31 seller leads in 2 days. And when we talk about seller lead capture and property valuation landing pages, which we talk about every week live at Tuesday and Thursday, the deal is, do you have the right tool behind your ad? And with Listings to Leads, you do. And but more importantly is, what does that ad look like? Is it compelling enough to get somebody to click? Because you may hear something like this call from me. You might be listening to gurus from Curator or Prime Seller or all these other terrific companies, and you might say, oh, I want to get a landing page and put it on Facebook, and I'm going to put $20 on it, and I'm going to get 3 leads, and that might be awesome for you, right? 3 leads might be more seller leads than you've ever gained in an ad. But our clients are getting, a couple dozen seller leads every weekend, even more, and that's where we like to see our clients. So I'm pointing out that this blog post is right here, and this language is just slam dunk works across the country. For you, it sounds something like 50 homes sold in Boston. Last month, the highest was 900. Now see your home value free, right? Click here to get your home value free. That is really the language that you need to start off with. There's a lot more ideas of how to do that. And to get into that, I'm going to point out, I don't know, Nicole, did I invite you to our mastermind group yet?
You sent an email, but I didn't see how to get into it.
Okay, it's a secret group on Facebook. And so I think what I sent you were the instructions on how to get invited into the group. But the reason why I'm saying this is, if you are interested in growing your business with lead generation, I'm pretty safe to say that we're probably the strongest company with a number of tools to do that. And our mastermind group is a secret group inside of Facebook for our clients. And the great thing about it is our clients across the country are saying, hey, I've got a question, or here's what my ad looks like. You'll notice somebody says, does anyone have a VA landing page they can share, right? And one of our clients says, yeah, here's mine, right? And this landing page for VA loans was created inside of our system, just custom, right? And it's obviously wired to capture leads. But the other thing that's great about this group is I'd say a few times a week, and here's one, I don't know when this happened. I'm sorry to be jumping around here. This is November 15th. This lady said, I ran an ad. She's getting 22 solid leads, 18 with email and all these things. So she spent about $50 and has got a few dozen listing leads. And that's what we want to see all of our clients do, right? And so if you scroll through here, you will see that not only are people saying, here's what I spent and here's what I got, a lot of agents are saying, this is what my ad looked like. This is what I wrote on it, and this is what I spent. And I just want you to be aware that that's where we're compiling these things from. So you're going to want to kind of have a look at that. I will send you how to join our group. Definitely follow those instructions and get in, and then log into your account. So I'm going to log into mine now, and you're going to see a bunch of info right here, right? So getting started actually talks a little bit about your profile. I will highlight a couple things before we dive in. This page right here is Facebook advertising. #1 place for capturing seller leads. #1 place for building your brand for just a few bucks. A few bucks is actually a couple hundred a month, but boy, thousands of people start to recognize you're a realtor. Our open house lead generation tools are great. We send them to you in one email. They're designed to capture leads via email, Facebook, social media, lots of great things, door knocking, print flyers, all that. There's a listing presentation you can download. This says click to join the mastermind group. That maybe is a little bit confusing because we turned it into a secret group, but I am going to send you the instructions. And of course, I got online tutorials. But over here on the listing section, your listings get swept in automatically, and we start emailing you tools. And you'll notice over here, I've got a column. I don't know if you can see it, but they're kind of red acronyms. So open house, just sold, just listed, under contract, active, things like that. And we email these tools to you automatically. We email you the single property website, the virtual tour. We auto upload to YouTube. We send you, when you first get a listing, we send you, let me show you this tool that we send you. It's actually, we like it, and our clients love it. Because it's designed to engage the homeowner and say, hey, we're marketing your home. It's going to have your banner. That's my office right there, so that's my banner. But yours is going to be, Engel, Volker, Boston, and a few images of the home. And then it says, hey, we're ready for the web. We're ready for smartphones. We're ready for email, Facebook, WordPress, Google, Craigslist, and then it'll have your pick and your logo right at the bottom. You may notice it's kind of wordy. The two people here, Scott Pierce and myself, have been doing this for 9 years, and there's always sort of this, a tug of war where Scott likes to write a lot of words, and I don't think people like to read, so I always try to minimize it. But but this page is meant to go to the homeowner to say, we're doing all kinds of things for you. So in this case, I'm okay with this. They can actually click on these links and see some of their tools so they can get familiar with the kind of marketing you're going to be doing. And one thing that we'll send to you at the very same time is a just listed e-flyer. So let's look at that. And this gets into the difference. When we talk about e-flyers, there are a couple similarities to all real estate advertising, and there's a couple major differences. This is just listed. It's a 4-bedroom home. You can see the photos and all that, and the address, and there's a description. That makes sense. That should be in real estate advertising. What doesn't make a lot of sense, and what a lot of people are not familiar with, is that our e-flyers have hyperlinks built into them that say, search all homes, You could say search all Boston homes for sale, Back Bay homes for sale. You could say, what is your home worth? And whenever I click on, let's just click on what is your home worth right out of the email, it's going to take me to a property valuation page. Okay. And so our e-flyers are designed to capture leads. That is really the point. If you've ever used an e-flyer in the past, it's a great information tool with branding and your phone numbers for somebody to pick up the phone and call you. But that's not really what people want to be doing, right? So in that case, when we look at that just listed e-flyer, we automatically send it to you, forward it on, send it to your client, and I'll show you why. And this is the other big difference of listings to leads. On top of every flyer that we send you and every Facebook ad that we send you, and I'll describe it in a minute, it has a pre-written message from the homeowner to their friends. I'm highlighting it here. It says, dear friends, we've hired Vincent Meza at Lafayette Realty to sell our home. And this is one of the tools. Please share this with as many people as you can to help us get our home sold faster, right? That's really the gist of it. We automatically send this to you, send it to your client. Obviously, there's lead capture built into it for you, but send it to your client because there's a pre-written message that's talking about you and your office. We do this because our clients stick with us because they like online leads. But I can tell you this, and you probably know this, they really like referrals a lot more than they like online leads. And these tools, every time an e-flyer goes out, talks about you. Hey, we're having an open house this weekend. Vincent's going to be there. Please share this with as many people as you can. When the home is just sold, similar sort of thing. Let's go look at a just sold. And every time there's an e-flyer, there's an additional Facebook. It's kind of a parallel ad. So let's go look at just sold, and I'll describe to you or show you what this means. So down here is just sold. And if you change the status in the property to just sold, sometimes it happens automatically, but sometimes you got to do it manually. We send you a message like this. And this is where I was telling you, where I think we write too much in our tools. When you receive a tool like this as an agent, you are not going to know what this is. I think a lot of people don't know what this is. And when they finally get on a call like this with one of us, they realize, oh, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. There are two red lines. When you get an email like this, copy what's between the red line and send it to your client, the homeowner. And send them the e-flyer at the same time. And once you've done that, I'm going to click on my Facebook thing here. Tell them, hey, client, go to your wall and just copy what I just sent you and paste it on your wall, right? Paste it on your Facebook status. And I'm going to post this here so you can see what happens when you do that. It shows them that the home is just sold. And I don't know if you can see this, but it's basically a pre-written testimonial saying our home just sold and we want to recommend you at EV Boston for doing an excellent job. And here's your name and phone number. This is automatically generated. We send it to you, forward it to your client, and call them and just say, hey, could you put that on your Facebook and could you forward that out? And they're probably going to be excited because they just sold their home and that was their goal. And when their friends see this, you'll notice it's me talking about me, and that's not really how it's going to be. It's you, the homeowner that you just sold the home for, talking about you, and their 200, 300, 500 friends on Facebook that don't know you are going to know you. And if they're interested in selling a home, they might click on it. And when they click on it, the single property website for their home pops up. And there are a number of links on the side. I can go look at other homes in the area. There's also a link there to get what's my home worth. But the automated lead capture form comes up and says, this home's sold and it can affect your home value. Get your value here. I think you're starting ideally to understand the flow of what we're trying to do. We're trying to get leads for our clients, and you are now one of our clients. So these tools you can take advantage of multiple ways. But I want to get into the bigger, deeper discussion of Facebook advertising, because some of the tools I'm showing you, and we just showed you how they interact with Facebook, you want to combine with what we call landing pages. And there's a tab up here that says landing pages. So if you're a first time logging into this account, you probably want to have access to some of these landing pages. Maybe our FSBO landing page, maybe our expireds. Maybe our Property Valuation Plus is the #1 tool for capturing listing leads. So I recommend you all get involved with this one. We have landing pages for growing families, for empty nesters. You can create a custom report for buyers, a custom free report for sellers. And these are just different ways of capturing leads. So I'm going to click in this Property Valuation Plus, and you'll see that I have one here in Lafayette. I can click see landing page, and we kind of glanced at this a couple times. The process here is drop in your address, get the home value, and ask you a couple questions, and then bang, the homeowner is looking at the value of their home. You have their address and their contact information and the value of their home, okay? So you have some information to start a dialogue, right? Have you done any improvements to that home? Is that number accurate? Do you feel like it's high or low? Are you thinking of selling? All those things to get more listings into your hopper. The one thing though is when that tool comes out, it looks fairly generic. And I don't know if I have a generic look of that page, but the generic look is not that. It's like a suburban neighborhood. So one of those kind of developments that started in the 80s, and the sidewalks or the driveways are all next to each other. That's not what your area is going to look like. So I want you to know that the link next to every one of them says edit. And when you click edit, it takes you to a place where you can edit your landing page. You might want to change the form fields, the lead form text. So this language here, you might want to say, what is your Boston condo worth? And you could change that there. But this button right here is where you change the background picture, okay? And that's probably the #1 thing. When you start to create a landing page, just change the background picture. Don't use our generic one because it's not going to be compelling in your local neighborhood. So when you come to this page first, come to this box right here. It says type in the farm area, right? And that would be, in a broad sense, Boston. And when I type in Boston and I click save, wait about, I don't know, 30 seconds, and there'll be this little message up here that says we created your series. And what that means is we will create a Boston landing page under every one of these buttons. You might also go back and say Back Bay and do it again. You might also be focused on an area like Cambridge. Type it in. What's that?
Yay!
Yeah. Click save, and then you will have a Cambridge landing page under every one of these buttons. Okay? And then #1 tool is to get into Property Valuation Plus. And let's do that. Let's kind of do that together because I want to slow it down here. And I'm going to just say create new landing page here. And I'm going to call it Cambridge. I guess Cambridge was exciting over there. So let's do that. And I'm going to save it. Now, I'm doing it here because I don't want a Cambridge button under every one of my buttons. And so let me save that, and hopefully it's saving now. I'm going to go here and go to Cambridge MA, right? And just so you know, we're getting a little bit in the weeds here. Click on images, click on tools. It's going to say size, and I'm going to say larger than 2 MP.
I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, this is Google. This is how you search Google. And this picture here, a little bit deeper dive, I can see if I hover over it, it says Wikimedia. That usually means it's a free, kind of tool, no copyrights. But up here, it says usage rights, and it says label for use with modification. This is going to show you the photos that actually you can use. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to click view image. I'm going to move fast here, guys. But don't worry, because I'm recording this. Is that going to save? Hopefully that saves right. And I'm going to click edit landing page, back in the landing page section. And remember, I said you can click background image. This is the default one, right? And we made this default, and Scott kind of recently did this. And we did this because, as simple as it is to change that background picture, agents really don't even want to do even that. So we're like, well, let's make it generic enough to where I could just do it, right? And I could get that home value. And while this is generic looking, it's almost useless. People are not interested in that picture because it doesn't tell me anything about my local neighborhood, right? It's just not happening. And I'm going to explain to you, I'm going to drive down a little bit more on that subject. When you're running ads on Facebook, and a lot of people do, you're asking them for their address and for their contact information. And you can probably imagine, I'm sure you go out on the internet and you're looking for things. And if somebody asks you for your email address, it's like, no way, I'm just walking away. That's exactly what consumers are doing as well, right? When they're being faced with, give me your contact information and your address. And so you've got to show them something that makes them understand you know their neighborhood, you know where they live, and you're a local. You're not like a national spam campaign, okay? And to further describe that, I'm going to show you something that you wouldn't be thinking of. I do this call for all kinds of offices. I set up the offices around the country, and we have this call together. And I show them how you create that landing page. And then, they'll call me later. And I set up an office for Coldwell Banker over in New Jersey in a place called Summit, small town, 25,000 people. And a month later, their manager calls and he says, Vince, we're running all these ads. We're getting all these leads. This is awesome. But the number one ad for getting listings has this picture of this diner on it. And this diner is on Main Street, right? You probably got one over there where you live. But what it points out to the consumers is, my area. And I want to point that out because this may do exactly the same thing. It might really point out that my area, but really you want to be having that in the front of your mind, okay? So this thing is ready to go. You could change some of the language. I don't think it's necessary. I think the language works just fine there. So let me ask this question before we go to the next step. Do you understand the process of how to create a landing page in our landing page section?
Yes.
No, I didn't say so.
Go to this section, type in Boston, click save. It will create Boston pages under all these things. Click in, edit, get your local picture. How many people in this room have run ads on Facebook before and got listing leads?
Yeah.
Couple?
One.
One?
One.
Yeah, one.
Okay. I'm going to tell you this. I know this slam dunk is the number one reason people are coming to us right now on the internet, meaning realtors. This tool is working across the country. And the trick is, how do you get it on the internet? Right? Now we know how to make it work for my local area. What do I do with it? So let's cover that right now. You need to have a business page on Facebook. Does everybody have a business page on Facebook?
Yes.
Is everyone yes or?
I do not.
Okay, so let me point that out. It's real simple how to do. Log into your own Facebook account. This is my personal one. Go to this button up here. There's a little triangle pointing up, and it says Create Pages. And when you click Create Page, over here is Local Business. Your business name is maybe it's you at Engel Volkers, or you the realtor, right? That's it. And then you can save it and you can add your logo and you can put a nice colorful banner. You need to invite 25 of your friends to like it. Once 25 of your friends like that page, Facebook gives you this advertising platform. And that advertising platform is very powerful. We're going to walk through that in a second. For those of you that have already business pages, I want to point out that a lot of our clients, realtors like you, are developing community pages because you can run these ads through that platform as well. And some people are getting better, higher quality leads from the communities. When you do something like that, you might want to title it, luxury living in Cambridge, whatever, right? You can make it more about the area. It has less of a sales of me, the realtor, right? Or me in real estate. Those pages work really well. You create it the same way. But once you've got that page, click on this button here that says it's the same thing that opens up the menu, and click create ad. Now remember, you got to have a business page and 25 people have to like it. When you create an ad, it brings us to this page. And I want everybody to be really kind of paying attention on this one, because there are a lot of internet gurus out there and there's a lot of information about what works on Facebook advertising. And we have we have thousands of clients doing this. So I'm pretty sure that what I'm telling you, I know is 100% accurate. When you're using our tools, when you're putting a tool like this, Open House, or you're going to put a landing page out there, or you're going to put a property valuation page, whatever you're doing, if you're using our tools, click this button here that says traffic. Okay? The other options that realtors get, kind of asked to do are engagement, conversions, and even lead generation. And that might be confusing to you because I'm talking to you about generating leads, and you would think, well, I'm going to click lead generation. You want traffic, and I will explain to you what that means in just a moment. Okay. Now, one thing is we're going to do a property valuation, so I'm going to call it Cambridge value and whatever the date is, right? Nobody sees that except you. And I am going to suggest that you start to name your campaigns, because you want to do this consistently. You don't want to run an ad once a month and think that's going to change your business. I am going to give you the strategy of what will change your business. But let's just get through the step-by-step. What do I actually do here? This is why you need a group. This is why you need a business page on Facebook. It's right here. I'm going to type in, it's saying, what's your audience? And I'm going to say my audience is Cambridge. And will that pop up? Massachusetts, right there. And notice it gives this ring, right? Like here's Cambridge, Massachusetts, and 25 miles out. But you know that my page only talks about Cambridge. So 25 miles out, that's not going to help me. So I'm going to click this button and say current city only. And that's really the power of Facebook. If you don't know this, 71% of American adults, not teenagers, are on Facebook. And they spend about 40 minutes a day on Facebook, whether they're on their phone, whether they're on a computer like I am now. Even if you're sitting there in a meeting listening to somebody like me yammer on, you might be looking at Facebook on your phone, right? And that's just what's going on. That's a reality of Facebook. 30% of all time on the internet, on mobile phones, is on Facebook. So you need to have a strategy here. And what I'm really pointing to is your target market is on Facebook. And in this case, this ad is going to people who only live in Cambridge. And I'm going to say, I don't want 18-year-olds looking at my ads. I'm going to put a minimum of 30 years old. Okay. And that's going to say, okay, well, these people have to be minimum 30 years old. They have to live in Cambridge. And that's going to be it. Now, here's an important area here. When we're trying to get listing leads, people who own homes, change this placement section, edit it, and say, I just want desktop. That means they have to be sitting at a computer to see this ad. Here's the other big thing, budget. And budget I'm going to get into in a minute, but you want, when you're trying to get listing leads, always change your budget to lifetime. Don't worry, you're not going to pay them for life. My recommendation is change that value to $30, okay? And always, again, when we're trying to get listing leads, start it on Friday and end it on Monday. Okay, so what that's really boiling out to is about $10 a day for 3 days. If you start running your listing lead ads like this, you're probably going to end up with a number of leads, and a couple dozen leads, right? Notice the estimated daily reach here says it's about 700. Cambridge is a small town, so about 700 people a day will see it. So roughly 2,000 people over the weekend are going to see this ad. So let's go to continue, and this is where it starts to say, well, what's that ad going to look like? So give it a second. Now, I've done this a few times, And so it defaults to single image ad. If you've never run an ad, it's going to default to carousel. And let me warn you, carousel is just a great way to waste your money. Single image ads outperform every time. Actually, we've got clients who run carousel ads and they get no clicks at all. I don't know why that is, but just focus on single image ads. And down here, it says, well, where's your destination? Remember, we started with traffic. That was our objective. So what's our destination? Our destination is this page. We want people to land here so that they can get their home value. So type this in, and it's going to kind of whip out and show us what we've written, okay? Now, you're going to see it's sponsored by Universe. That's my little music crew, right? But you would be you, the realtor, right? And it's got that great picture of the home, right? What is your Cambridge, right? That doesn't make sense. What is your Cambridge? So over here on the left, wipe this out and put Cambridge home value. When I type Cambridge home values here, I don't know if you can see it, it actually opened up down here. Here's some other default language. Recent home sales affected your home value. That's kind of interesting. It's not that interesting though. And I will tell you, we kind of went through it before we even logged in. I'm going to go to my home page and I'm going to remind you what I don't want you to forget. Let me have a sip of my coffee while I'm waiting for this page to come up. Before you log in, go down to the blog, click view all blog posts, and go to that really special blog post that starts off with 31 seller leads in 2 days. And use this language as your template. And it says, and I'm going to type it. So how do you get that language on above that photo? Over on the left, there's a section that says recent home values. Just say 60 homes sold in Cambridge last month, right? You can get the rest, but 900 was a high. This language, this sentence I'm going to write, I would write on every ad that you write. Click here to get your online automated home value in less than 15 seconds. A lot of our clients just write that one line only. And they put in the words free. This is classic internet marketing stuff, and that line works really well because it says a couple things. It's automated online, which is really code for I don't have to talk to you, and it's instant, right? We're all ADD today, so if I can get it in my answer in 15 seconds, yeah, I don't have to go to another website. I can go get it right here, and it's free. That's really, just write that on your ads, and you will get clicks on this. So at this point, if you've never run an ad like this, you click here to confirm. And a little pop-up will say, hey, we're going to review this and then we're going to make it live. Okay? And that's great, but I want you to know what happens at that point. At the end of this ad, remember this ad's going to end on Monday, you're going to get an email from Facebook saying, congratulations, you had a successful ad. Okay? And they'll give you some metrics. Let me just warn you, what congratulations means is that you were successful in giving Facebook money. It doesn't mean you got any leads. And okay, so I want you to know what to read in that message. The message is going to say your reach was 2,000 people, 3,000 people. And remember, I pointed out the estimated daily reach is going to be about 700 a day. So 3 days, about 2,000. So that you should sort of know that number even before you run the ad. It's going to be around that. Then it's also going to say website clicks, okay, or ad clicks. It actually, they call it website clicks. And what that means is, when people saw this ad, how many people, 2,000 people saw it, but how many people clicked it? And if you had like 5 or 10 clicks, let me point out to you what is not right. Your photo in the background is not right, or this language up here is not right. It's not compelling enough to get people to click it. Typically, around 100 clicks or more is a good number that you want to land on. Now, Cambridge seems like a small area. There's not thousands of people, so that might be a smaller number. Boston is a bigger area, a lot more people, but Cambridge is a tiny little area. But you should end up with a couple dozen listing leads at the end of the weekend. That process is the number one way that people are getting listing leads right now. Do you follow what I went through there? Did that work out? Are we lost?
No, I think we're good. You're sending this to us, right?
I sure am. I'm going to put this up on YouTube, and I'm going to send you the link to this video when we get off. So, people, what I just described to you, there are, Tom Ferry's lead coaches, a lot of their coaches talk about us and go use these guys. There are other, Jared James, Lori Ballin. There's a dozen coaches telling people, go get their landing pages and go get some business. And the reason I'm pointing it out is people figure out, after getting on a few classes, how to do what I just showed you how to do. Okay. And most of them are pretty happy. And then they come in our mastermind group and go, what do I do with all these leads and all these things? Right. And that's great. But the clients who get the most out of it take another step by following our instructions in our classes. And they not only run this ad on the weekends, they run ads during the week to build their brands. And you do that by going to the listing section. And as I mentioned earlier, we create all these great tools. So here I've got an open house, right? And I want to point out the single property website. Single property website has right here open house, right? Here's the date and time. You might have some kind of fancy video you want to embed in it. That's cool. But the single property website actually has it's got a couple of lead captures in it, right? Hey, I've got, what do you call it? A timer. This is time sensitive. If I want to continue, I got to click continue with Facebook. I got to refresh or get out of here, then I got to change the setting on this. But there's also links that'll drive right to your website. These say Granite Bay, but these could say Granite Bay homes from Back Bay homes from 5 to 700, right? Cambridge homes from these price points. That's a pretty cool tool. But when it's open house, I actually like what we call the listing landing page. We automatically send this to you, but the open house one is really cool in my opinion. This is the same home. It's just presented differently. And it's saying there's an open house and it's going to happen in 3 days and 2 hours. If you want the information, click here. So I click here. It whips around. Let's wait a second. It says thank you from me to you. And then it keeps going and it drops me on the single property website. At this point, if you're the agent, you've already got my contact information. We just reached into Facebook and delivered it up to you. The consumer is now getting more information on that home, and that's really what we're after. So we want those kinds of leads. So let's use the right tool on Facebook. And so I want you to think about this. This is how I describe it. There are seller lead gen leads, and there are seller lead gen ads, which we just did, and there are branding ads. And branding ads will get you buyers, but they're really building your brand on Facebook where these people are hanging out all day long. Okay? So there are two tools that I want you to use when building that brand. Either a single property website, anyone in this column, or a listing landing page. We just looked at a single property website, and we also looked at a listing landing page. So every one of these homes has both of those. Okay? This is just listed. So I could say, oh, here's a just listed single property website. They have different strengths and weaknesses, but I would use either one and just go out and keep building a brand. So what does it mean to build a brand? What it means is when you figure out how to run this, and you go and lob it out there on the internet on the weekend, you might get a dozen or a couple dozen leads, right? Listing leads. But when you start telling the market every week, hey, we've got an open house this week. Hey, we've got something that just listed this week, or we had something that just sold this week. People start to recognize, oh, that person's a realtor. They're a real estate professional, right? You can't get around it because you're running ads every week for 4 days. Now, we're going to do that together right now, and we're going to see what that reach is like. But I'm going to guess that if I run a $20 ad every week, I'm going to have 5,000 people see it every week. So if you do that for 4 weeks, I don't know, maybe that's 20,000 people, or maybe that's, 10,000 people seeing you multiple times. But anything you probably notice about advertising, the more people see you in whatever profession, they're going to recognize you're in that profession, right? So here is my monthly budget that I recommend to the green brand new agent. It is $200 a month for Facebook advertising. And the way it boils down is every week, run an ad during the week for open house, just sold, or just listed. Those things. You can borrow the listings and put it in your account and run the ad with that tools. You're still going to generate leads from it, but you're also going to build brand, letting people know you're a real estate professional. So these are the real points. And if you can do coming soon, by all means do coming soon. But just listed, open house, or just sold ads, and use our single property website or our listing landing pages. Okay? And run an ad every week for $20. On the weekend, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, run an ad with this for $30. So that's $50 a week times 4 is 200. That's what I tell a brand new agent. Like, either you have no business and you're new to this area or whatever, this is what you got to do to build a brand and get listing leads. Okay? But I want you to point out, because I don't know who's in that room, if you're somebody managing 4 or 5 or more listings at a time, I would up that budget and I would be running a couple of ads, 2 or 3 ads every week, saying, hey, here's something just listed, here's something open house, same ads, but people cannot get around you. They cannot get away from you. Every time they log into Facebook, they see that you're a real estate professional. Our clients who follow that scenario I just described all come back to us and say, you know what? People are just calling me. They're just calling me out of the blue because they're like, I need some help to buy or sell something, and I see you all over the internet. What they really mean is they're seeing them all over Facebook, and you can't get away from that. That's what advertising is about, and that's why you want to use Facebook to build a brand. So let's walk through that exercise. I showed you here, I've got a open house, and I clicked over here and got the listing landing page, and that brings me to this page that looks like this. This is my favorite tool to get out there because when you click continue with Facebook, the agent, gets the contact information. They land right on the property, and so they find out more about it. So copy the hyperlink at top, the web address, go back to Facebook, and I'm going to go back to Facebook and try to get to just a normal homepage. And just to point out, the ad we were just looking at, it shows up right in this column, okay? So it's not in the side column, it's right in the middle where people are scrolling through all day long, all right? So we're gonna do that branding ad. Where do we start? We click that triangle up here, we click create an ad. And we'll give it a second to do its thing. I'll sip some coffee. And some of this stuff, you won't see this. I've got an ad blocker on. I didn't finish that last ad, so that's all it's about. Remember, here's what's the same. Always run your ads with traffic. And I'm going to kind of tell you what's the same and what's different. Here's what's different. Your campaign name, I'm just going to call it Open Cambridge, and whatever the date is, right? And click continue. So the same as traffic, the name of the campaign is different. And you want to know that because over time, you're going to want to review what's working. Are people clicking on open houses? Are they clicking on just sold? Or what are they clicking on, right? So if you name it, you can start to analyze your business. Now, remember, this home is in Cambridge, and we did this earlier, and remember, it pushes us out 25 miles. That might be too far, right? I'm sure you guys have traffic issues there, but you might want to just focus on a 10-mile radius. And I definitely recommend, when you're doing a branding ad, you want more people to know you're a realtor, right? So I want a lot of people, not just the people in Cambridge, to know that this home is available. So I'm going to have a 10-mile radius. I still don't want 18-year-olds looking at it. So the difference was, I'm going to have a radius, and also, but the same thing is, I want more people. I want people to see it, right? So I'm going to have a bottom age bracket. Notice my reach it's got a bigger sort of circle. So I've got about 4,000 people every day. Okay, that's how many people are going to see it. Here's the other difference. Use automatic placements. What this means is it's going to be seen on mobile, on smartphones, and on desktop. Okay? We're branding. We want everybody to see this. All of the tools that we create are all mobile optimized. They're designed to capture leads for you, even on smartphones. So definitely go mobile when you're branding the ads during the week. Again, what's the same? Always change it to lifetime budget. Just so you know, and this is kind of techie, lifetime budget, all it does is it tells Facebook, place your ad money on Facebook ads at the highest traffic times. That's it. You know, they've got algorithms. They know when everybody's logging in. I don't know when everybody's logging in. But if you're interested in that, you don't have to be. Just change it to lifetime budget, and they will place it at the highest traffic time. So I put in 20 bucks, and it's saying, hey, that's too little money. And that's because they want a minimum $5 spend. So it's going to start today, and I'm going to end it on Sunday, right? And now everything's okay. My daily reach is dropping because I've got, fewer days, less money, but it's about 1,000. So about 4,000 people are going to see this over the 4-day period. Click continue. And you kind of remember where we're going here. Single image ad. I copied this hyperlink here. I go back here and I paste in the link. Click that little blue bar. I want to see it on desktop news feed. It shows me what it looks like. And it looks like that, right? So that's what it's going to look like. It's going to be sponsored by you. This get the current price in photos, that's not compelling language. But in the end, we're really sponsoring. So we really want people to know that we're a realtor. But if you want them to click more, there's something really awesome about the home you're selling, right? Maybe it's got a new granite kitchen, right? Or it's in a great school district. All that, right? Whatever is compelling about that home, type it in this box and it will show up here, and this will ideally get people to click. And when they click, there's obviously lead capture there for you. But what we're really trying to do here is we're trying to have 4,000 people recognize we're a realtor for 20 bucks this week. And when you do that every week, and then you layer it on the weekends with a property valuation page, you actually start to get better leads from this page. Because people every week recognize, oh, you're a real estate professional. On the weekend, when you say, hey, do you want your home value? They say, yeah, I saw that person had an open house that week. They sold something the other week. I want my home value, and this person knows what they're doing. That, as simple as it sounds, works for clients all over the country. The bare minimum that agents usually can figure out is, I can get this page up there and get some listing leads. If they start building a brand with our single property websites or our listing landing pages, they get better results when they try to get listings. And really, what I mean by results is, yeah, you're going to get more leads, but those leads are going to start communicating with you much faster. If you go into our mastermind group, you will see postings this week and what is it, Wednesday, of people just saying, yeah, not only did I get 20 plus leads, I've got somebody in ready to list, and I've got another meeting, and these things are happening because this is where people are comfortable. You can actually build a brand. People can recognize you're related to homes that are selling, getting sold, and bought. And so that's really the whole deal about Facebook. Okay, that's kind of a lot. Are there any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sometimes, or not sometimes, so the consumer has the choice to log in via Facebook or via email.
Yeah.
What happens when they do via email?
Well, let's click
Are
on.
we get an email address back somehow?
Yeah. Either way, we are sending you the contact information.
Oh, okay.
So I have a question too. Where's the CRM for all the leads being sent to you?
When we capture the lead, we email it to you directly. I'm going to click on the leads tab here, so you can see your leads here. You can even export your leads here. But if you go to your profile page, and we should have started here, but the profile, it's not the sexiest part, right? There is a place here where it says contact details, and this is the primary email. You might have a CRM with a destination email where they can parse your leads, right? You could put that email address here and click send all leads to. So you'll get the leads in your mail, but also they'll drop into your CRM. Do you have, what kind of CRM are you using? Are you all using the same kind of CRM?
No.
Okay. So that,
I have no way to put it in.
I'm sorry, I lost you. Can you repeat that?
I have Lion Desk.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do you find that to be?
Well, I'll
I
tell you
recommend.
that Lion Desk is awesome. I know David Anderson who runs that. Our clients use a lot of different CRMs, and a lot of our clients use Lion Desk.
Which one? Lion Desk.
Lion Desk, yeah. And I'm going to go right now to our mastermind group, and I'm going to point out something here. One, to plug our mastermind group. Two, to remind you to join our mastermind group. But three, you're going to see I've got this really fancy graphic here, and it says, hey, if you got questions, you can search right here in this box. And I actually show you where it is, and that box is real life right there. I'm going to type in Lion Desk. And the reason why is every week somebody is talking about Lion Desk. And we've got the API in there, and you can find out exactly how to set that up. This is actually step-by-step what to do with Lion Desk. Okay?
Awesome.
All right. So our mastermind group is like this. Join the mastermind group, type in Lion Desk, you're going to get the answer you're looking for. Go
I
ahead.
have another question.
Yeah.
And about the listings, right? The listings from the listings we have in MLS, or the listings that, how do we implement those into this listing to leads?
So there is a, if you got listings in the MLS, they're going to get auto swept here, and you're going to get notified via email. But there's also a couple of other areas up here. Create new listing. And when you create new listing, you could do a FSBO here. You could do a pocket listing. You could just manually create it. And we're not like the MLS. There's probably 5 required fields, right? The address, and then add some photos. Coming soon, our clients do this all the time because they just put, hey, here's the address. I'm not going to give you the price, but here's a picture I got with my smartphone. And, if you're interested, let me know. There's also grab active listings. So grab active listing is for agents that maybe you're going to, you don't have any listings, but you're going to hold an open house. You're going to sit an open house for somebody else who's got a bunch of listings and they don't want to sit there. You could type in the zip code and address, and as long as it's active for sale on Trulia, we're going to grab it with all the photographs and everything and drop it in your account. Okay? So those are the 3 ways to get your listings in. Manually, swept in from List Hub, or you can grab it here manually too. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Because I am talking about open house, and open house is a very important kind of thing going on, I want to walk through that real quick. Okay, so if you get your listing in here, if you want to create an open house, there's a green button here with a white door on it. You hover over it, it says open house. Click that button. Add the date. I'm just going to leave the time 1 to 4. That's good. Save it at the bottom. And now I've got a bunch of tools that you can see that the acronym here is open house. But now, and I'm going to hopefully wait, and I'm going to get an email here while I'm talking. Now my landing page is wired for the open house, right? It's got that ticking clock on it, and I've got a way to capture leads on it, right? I've also got an e-flyer for our open house, and I can click in here and say, okay, what's that e-flyer? Scroll down, we'll see the open house e-flyer, and it says open house, right? And also it says, hey, dear friends, as you know, our home is for sale and Vince is selling it. Open house is this Saturday, 1 to 4. Please share as many people as you can. Again, to get you leads, get people in that open house. Maybe they'll click on some of these links and get to your website. But also your clients, friends and family and colleagues are going to start to recognize you're working with them, right? I don't know what you're doing for referrals. Maybe you're leaving some business cards in the background. Maybe you're leaving that client some really shiny knives and cutlery, right? But in our world, we want your name in front of their friends and family multiple times, right? So we give you another tool here for open house right here. So open house, let's click view. What does that look like? Get that message here. Copy, go over to your Facebook wall, and you want your clients to do this, right? Because your clients are talking about you. So let's just go through that real quick. And I'm kind of filling time here. I'm waiting for my automatic email that comes from listings to leads, because all the tools I'm showing you show up in your mailbox in one email, and it says, hey, put this here, put that there. And for some reason that's not showing up. But notice this is what it looks like when your clients, friends, and families click on it. Boom, this page opens up, and what's that designed to do but get you listings, right? Get you more leads. Let's see if I got some tools in here. What time is it?
And can I ask a question?
Yeah.
In between? Okay, so my clients will post this page on their book. Their friends click on it, right?
Yeah.
Do I then automatically get a lead back?
Yeah.
From that friend?
That's right. So
and
go ahead.
Is that me an email address, or is it only giving me access to their Facebook?
No. So great question. Let's describe what we've got here. We put the Facebook ad, we emailed it to your client, they put it on their wall, and their friends, when they log into Facebook, are going to see this. You're going to see that this right up here is coming from me, Vincent Meza, but actually this would be coming from your client, and all their friends would see it. And when they click on it like this, they are looking at this single property website. And when this nothing happens. All they've done is they've clicked it. But if we wait 5 to 10 seconds, you're going to see this pop up. And if they want to continue seeing information about this home, they got to click continue with Facebook. And when they do that, you get their name and email address.
Okay. Thank you.
Also, these links should be saying things like Boston Homes for Sale, Cambridge Homes for Sale, Back Bay Homes for Sale, whatever the neighborhoods are, right? And then when people click those, they can be taken off of this tool right to your website. And I don't know if you can see, I've got leads coming in because I'm clicking buttons, and this is pointing to somebody's, some realtor's website, right? So that's kind of the process, right? That's what's happening there. Let's see here. I'm waiting for another tool. Let's see. Let's wait 1 second. Let me find it. rental open house. Yeah. So this is one I did yesterday. When you save the open house, this is what you get. It says, congratulations on your open house. And it gives you all the tools. Post this to your Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn. Just open it up. It's the single property website for this home. And share it, right? You can copy this link up here, put it on your Facebook wall. You can also just go down here and click on Facebook. Oh, goodness gracious. You can click on LinkedIn, and when you click on these icons, it just opens up that website, and you're going to see exactly. This is LinkedIn here. You'll see what it is. I'm sure many of you are on LinkedIn. You've been collecting. Your network grows probably every week. Somebody wants to be your friend, and Lord knows why. But I'm sure you're all nice people. I get people connecting with me all the time. I don't know why they're doing it. But I do know our clients are posting to LinkedIn, and they are coming back to our mastermind group and saying, hey, we're getting listings from this. We're getting buyers and listings. So just write something social. Hey, great home in a great neighborhood, right? And post, right? And that's going to show up on LinkedIn. And then, of course, you've got other ways to market it to Facebook. Pinterest, LinkedIn, and Facebook are the #1 places for lead capture. A lot of people like Twitter. I don't think Twitter is great, but since it just takes a second to click that button, it's a great service for your homeowners to just say, hey, I put your home on Twitter as well, right?
Is there a charge to go from a Facebook business to this to like LinkedIn or anything like that?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand. There's kind of some noise there.
There's no fee, there's no charge any advertising, you got to click on push this on the LinkedIn?
No, you're not running an ad, you're just sharing information.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not, it doesn't cost you anything to do that. And as you can see, it just takes a couple seconds. But I think where I was is back here, this automated mail goes out. We also give you a print flyer, and on the print flyer, you can just print it and go do some door knocking in that neighborhood and say, hey, we're having an open house this weekend, come and join us. And another tool, which I don't see it in here, but I want to point out, if it's not in there, I'm going to have it fixed so that it is. But if you click on edit listing for this property and you go to the open house tools on the left-hand side, you're going to see an online sign-in form, right? And let's click on that. And this is designed for if you've got Wi-Fi at the open house. This is a great way to present the home on like an iPad or a laptop and say, hey, if you want more information on this home, just fill that out, right? How did it show it? Well, you want to know the price changes? Yes, no. Give them your email, stuff like that. Once they do that, of course, Listings to Leads is sending you their contact information, but they are getting the single property website in an email format. Okay, so they're actually gonna see the home like this in an email format or for their smartphone, mobile optimized. So that's there's a lot of lead capture again, and that's really our focus. When you're doing something, we want to make sure you're able to capture a lead, and that's really what the whole story is. Next call is going to be a little bit more about the profile and also what to do with all of these automated tools to get more buyers and more listings. Okay. But any questions for you on what we covered today?
No, this was great. Thank you. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. One last plug. I'm going to send you this call on a recording with instructions on how to join our mastermind group. Please join our mastermind group and just look in there like 10 minutes a week. You'll probably end up spending more time. It blows me away the valuable information and the ads that our clients are sharing every day. So you will learn a lot. And these tools work really great. They don't work so well if you don't use them, though. So that's really the key.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. I will get this information to you shortly.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.